Welcome back, everyone, to Find Music. We're up to episode 393, getting dangerously close to 400. I think we'll hit it next week if my calculations are correct, especially because we have our leadoff man, Fred Whitlock, who will take over for now.
I'd like to first talk about a group that calls themselves I Am an Instrument. They have 3 CDs out or downloads that you can get. It's I Am an Instrument, Volume 1, 2, and 3. They're from Copenhagen, Denmark. And Volume 3 is a live album recorded just before the lockdown. And they don't do any editing in production or recording. They're all totally improvised. And each player in the group, there's 6 players, starts off a song and they just go off into their own stream of consciousness. It's breezy sometimes and laid back, totally improvised, like I said. It cascade of sounds and the players just write out the tunes just beautifully. On volume 3, part 1 starts out with saxophone, and then part 2 is the bass that leads off the tune. And all their tunes are called parts 1, 2, and 3, 4 on all their CDs. And part 3, it starts out with a piano and electronics on part 4. You can find a 22-minute video of them playing live on YouTube. I Am an Instrument. The next person I'd like to talk about is JASMINE MYRA. She has a new album out called Rising. She came out in 2022 with an album, Horizon, and caught the critics in the UK, and they just raved about her. She plays saxophone and flute, and she leads a group that just beautifully backs her up. And on 6 cuts, there's the strings. She also plays flute on the title tune, Rising. And there's other songs like Knowingness, New Beginnings. Each player leads into a gateway of sound. It's quite an album. It's layered and sways just wonderfully and intertwines each player, and her saxophone playing is gentle, but very convincing and very engaging. Then in the electronic field, I discovered a group, The Comet is Coming. And they're a cosmic jazz trio. And their 3rd album is out. And great synthesizers and saxophone playing. Shakata Hutchinson's on saxophone leads this group. And it's sprawling, spacey, improvising, hypnotic sounds, club rhythms, jazz fusion, psychedelic jazz. It has songs like Atomic Wave Dancing, Technical Color, Lucid Dreaming. It really sends you into another dimension of sound, and the saxophone just sometimes wails over an ocean of synthesizer and drumming, and it's great music. I just love it. Their other album is called, the one before this was called Contact Information, by a group who calls himself Tu-Ner, Tu-Ner. And they have an album out, Contact Information. If you like Robert Fripp and Buckethead, which has been mentioned in Fine Music before, you'll like this trio. They're 2 guitar players and a drummer. Totally experimental rock, prog, and jazz. rich sounds just streaming everywhere. Sometimes ambivalent, sometimes free form. It's intricate. And it features Tracy Gunn, who played with King Crimson 94 to 2003 and is just tremendous on what's called war. He calls it war guitar. I haven't looked that up to see what kind of guitar that is. WARR guitar. And it's uncharted territory of guitar sounds. Unbelievable. And their new album is Tu-Ner for Lovers. It's progressive. It's, like I said, freeform jazz guitar. It has some wild tunes. The first tune is called The Last Barbie Tango. They have a nightingale sang in our tango, combat and courtship. And the album ends with The Way We Weren't. It's just a massive sound of guitar playing. And like I said, if you like Buckethead or late King Crimson or some of Robert Fripp's experimental music, you'll love this group.
Sounds good.
And I know you've already put Tu-Ner and the Comet is coming up on Facebook in our group, Find Music. Are you going to put the other two up as well?
Yeah, I can do that.
Yeah, because it'll make it easy for our followers to find these artists. Wow, fascinating. Thank you, Fred.